Okay, we're live now. Let me exit out of there so I can't hear that. Okay, cool. So we've got a lot to discuss. It's going to be a fun conversation tonight. There's a couple of things that we want to talk about at the very beginning so that you guys can get this stuff on your calendar, get it on your radar. And then we're going to be talking about some really major, exciting things that were announced while we were in Anaheim for Zing Fling, and have the people that were there popcorn around, and share, what was your biggest takeaway? What are you most excited about? And then it'll kind of just end in a open table conversation, hearing from the people who were at the last event. Guys, what's going on is not casual. It's so crazy because it's more on social media than things have ever been, which is really exciting. Because our marketing and our promoting and all of that stuff is totally catching up with the where we've always been in terms of how incredible the products are. The business side is about to be, I mean, that's their next goal. Not only are we going to continue to come out with the most cutting edge, innovative products, which Zingular has always done, they are now, which this is really exciting, we are going to be leading the industry in innovation in terms of the business opportunity and what we have available for people to be able to build a business with, in the world that we live in today. Like, God just so continues to pour out insane blessings, favor on this company. And so, I know a lot of people were not able to be in California and Anaheim for the event. So we have a really exciting announcement for those of you who were not there. Um, and kind of first line of business, everybody on your calendars, you need to mark, if you are in the Wichita area or know anybody in the Wichita area, on May 13th, okay, Tuesday, May 13th, Oliver and Sarah are going to be flying in from corporate, and there is going to be an event with multiple parts that we're going to break down, happening basically from 3 to about 8 p.m. So, what that's going to look like is, you have 3 weeks. You need a request off to get off early because you're going to want to be there. Logan, do you kind of want to talk? Okay, so the Wichita event is Tuesday, May 13th. Okay. And then we're having a duplicate event in the Kansas City area for all of the Kansas City people, happening the day after. So May 14th. Both of these events start at 3 p.m. And then, Logan, do you want to kind of break down what's happening in that time frame and what we need to be doing in the meantime?
Yeah, so there's actually an itinerary in addition to an invite that we'll obviously share after this in all the chats and make sure it's reposted in the group. Lacey and Jana kind of have spearheaded this, by the way. We're just kind of like tagging along and also just trying to make this event explode. We really just want to fill the room. So from 3 to 5 is the leadership training with Oliver and Sarah. Obviously, Oliver training us on the things that he knows corporate business wise. And then we have Sarah, who now is training us as someone who just built a really successful business in the field. And so her training is going to be like so invaluable. I feel like I'm going to be on the edge of my seat. So for partners already, that will be from 3 to 5. And then they've got a window from 5 to 6 to be like the content creation and setup. So if you're there already, you can be a part of just kind of like documenting what's going on. Um, Taking pictures with the people who are there. There's going to be several ambassadors in the room. It's actually very powerful and not casual to be able to like hold on to these people, to know these people who have just taken ordinary lives and become a whole ambassador and could stop working tomorrow if they wanted to. They love it, so they're not. So that'll be great for from 5 to 6. If you can't make it the earlier times, just know that there's other times available for you to plug into. And then from 6 to 7:15 is going to be the guest event. So if you have a prospect coming and they don't know anything about it, invite them to come at 6 p.m. They can taste the products, they can feel the community, they can hear a couple success stories. It's not going to be anything formal, like any huge formal presentation, but they're really just getting to feel the environment. So casual, fun, cool, hit the glow bar type of vibes. And then, okay, it says reminders even for brand partners on here. I haven't even read this part yet. So she thought of everything. Just make sure you check out this itinerary for it. And then you have the event that you can share with your friends and invite. So now that you know about it, the main thing is get yourself in the room, of course, figure out how to be there. We have a couple weeks to make that happen. I mean, being there at 3 o'clock is probably not going to be the easiest thing for me either when I have a kid that gets out of school that I usually go get with my other kids. But I'm going to figure it out because we have 3 weeks and this is huge. And in-person stuff is really the way right now. What people are wanting is community. I would just have to say that majority of the partners that have came my way in the last couple of years or stayed, it was about the community. So if you want to expose somebody and fast track this, get them in the room there with you. Just don't plan to come alone. Like you coming and you hearing the things and being re-inspired is fine, but you having someone new in the room with you or bringing a car full of team, that's really what's the most powerful about this whole thing. So make it your goal to be there, but also make it your goal to bring at least one new person with you, if not a car full of people. The in-person stuff, there's really nothing like it. I don't even know. A lot of you have probably never even been to a opportunity event. And there's also going to be an extra incentive for people who haven't signed up yet that want to get started that night, because anytime corporate comes, they come with deals or extra incentives. So it'll be a really great opportunity for all of us to plug somebody in and get them to fast track, understanding the community, seeing the potential, actually being in a room with people who have had the fairy tale happen in their life. So we just wanted to make sure everybody knows about this meeting Wednesday, May 14th. Be there or be square or bring a car full of people.
So the 13th is the Wichita area, the 14th is the Kansas City area. And if you're somebody that's in Kansas City and you know people in Wichita, you still should be inviting the people in the Wichita area. And I'm going to try to make it to both, but there will be somebody there that can help take care of, just loop us in like, hey, I have this friend coming to check this out. Like, still, even if you can't make it to either or, be inviting people in the area to go check it out. And then I felt like there was one. Oh, and then after the meeting is over, corporate is going to stick around for a while and have dinner with us. So that will be fun. It's just going to be like a full day of amazing community, training, inspiration, all of the things. So we've got 3 weeks. And now let's turn gears and talk about what the hell they rolled out in Anaheim. What is coming next month? Um, and we'll popcorn around because I think that there's probably some things that are really exciting, similar for a lot of people that were there. But there's two things, I'll kind of just open it up. There's two things that I want everybody to know and be aware of that are coming next month. One of those things is a quiz. Have you guys ever taken like a skin quiz, a hair quiz, you know, a quiz? Well, Chanel obviously was the brains behind curating this quiz. And so we are all going to have access to a quiz that you can link wherever you want, send to whoever. And so that's going to be coming next month. And then the other thing that I'm so excited about that's coming next month that they announced at the event was that we are going to be getting something called Pulse. And I'm not a 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be integrated into our current app that we already have. But basically, what this is going to do is it is going to help you keep a pulse on your business. So instead of you having to go digging in your back office to see, okay, who hasn't ordered for a while, who has ordered, who's close to a goal, all of these things that you have to typically spend time digging around in your back office to find you're going to get push notifications from Pulse, like this person, reach out to this person. It's going to suggest things for you to say whenever you reach out. So not only is it going to help you, create conversation and relationship with people who are in your back office, it's going to help you recognize people also. So it's just going to take so much of the manpower work out of us needing to dig to us literally just getting a notification like, hey, you need to reach out to this person, not need to, but we suggest you reach out to this person, and they're even going to suggest, things that you can say to reach out. So that's going to make attracting and chasing business so much easier. So those are two things that I was super excited about that are going to be coming next month, and we can just go ahead and popcorn around. So if you were at the event, would love for you to unmute and share, one big takeaway moment, something that really impacted you from the event.
Well, you already nailed it with that one. That was like one of the biggest ones for me because um I think that okay, first I should say if you can ever make an event, go to an event because first of all, like just the whole atmosphere, it's always that way. It's always amazing. It's always like everybody in the room, has like the same like aspirations and goals and desires and energy, which is amazing. But this was like on a whole nother level of Oliver, basically, like making all this stuff happen, just like it was so modernized. I don't know how to explain it. But, anyways, what I was going to say was that's one of the biggest ones for me as far as like what's coming out because I feel like for me personally, like, and then of course, Maddie, Logan, like all of you guys that have built massive teams, it's very hard to keep track of people as you grow. It's very hard. Like, you want to be intentional. I know I personally want to be intentional and I try to be intentional with my people. But when you don't know what's happening all the time, it's very hard to do that. So that's definitely really big for me. And I'm really excited for that. And I just really feel like with everything that we learned that they are rolling out next month, you can tell that they are here for us. Like they're here to see us succeed. And I've never felt more like that than I do now, if that makes sense.
Okay, I'll just do mine. Krista was sitting next to me at the event when this happened, when the quiz came out, and so was Tayana. And you guys, literally, if you've ever breastfed, when he announced the quiz, it literally made my milk like let down. It triggered my milk let down. I'm like, I don't know why I'm having such a physical response to this quiz coming out, but I was like, whoa, like I am excited and I can tell because my milk is literally trying to come out right now and my kid is nowhere near me. So that was hilarious. We were laughing so hard about that. But I think what just got me so excited is exactly what Ashley was saying is like the place that corporate's in. Because listen, we've always been a rock solid company, but like, were they really drinking the Kool-Aid? I don't know. Some of them I'm like, were you really drinking trim sticks? Are you really on board with us? Now you get up at a corporate event and Sarah and Oliver, they're already in the gym. Do you understand that the speed of the leader is the speed of the team? So now we're on rock solid ground, but the people running our company are on mission just like we are. That's what I realized today when I was talking to Julia Spicer. I'm like, they're being pulled in directions similar to how we are. So we all have to channel this together. Like Oliver decided to take this job with Singular because only we could do the kind of things that he wanted to accomplish in his career, which was a debt-free company that can go tackle a million things and just grow like we could. And Chanel's the same way. Why did Chanel come back to Singular when she just had her dream job opportunity? It was because we were one of the only companies that would let her have creative freedom in the products that she wanted to create, and we could afford to do it because we're debt free. There's just not a lot of companies that are in the position that we are, and as time has unfolded, it's like all of these things are so aligned, it's unreal because our corporate team are as much on mission as we are. And I just think that is like what's actually going to scale this whole operation is their investment in that in another way. Because they're drinking the Kool-Aid with us. And I just love that. So I think just being in the room and him saying verbatim, like a lot of companies, they'll release something to you, a quiz, and they're like, okay, cool, our job's done. Now go run and do it. That's literally what happens, that I have experienced that happening. And then what he said was like, and we're not going to throw these out. Like, we're not done working. We're getting back to there and we're continuing to improve things for you. And so I just feel like it's so motivating for the entire company to just, the pace has been set by the leader. And so it's like, who's gonna run wild with it? And I definitely just feel like we're rising up to that occasion. I know that I am. I know it's actually chasing me down if I'm not rising up to it right now. So I'm just really excited about the vibes.
So I'm super stoked too because the future of Singular, y'all. Like I literally sat down and like thought about it. I'm like the vibes that I got from that event, I am like whoa, first of all. I didn't get to witness Oliver's like energy at the of like his first event, so I was like, okay, I'm like expecting a lot because everybody hyped him a lot. So I was like ready, and like he was everything. And y'all, the stuff that is coming to Singular for the future is just incredible. Like Chanel in itself, having her is just incredible because her mind, the way it works, just everything about it. I am personally just so excited for everything that's coming to Singular because y'all, we're getting a piece of this. Like we're getting a piece of it, and I'm stoked.
My understanding with the quiz is that it is something that like removes us. So it's like our third party, what word am I looking for? Third party validation is what is via the quiz. I think it was going to also tie into the pulse that Maddie talked about, where, yeah, Logan, leverage. I mean, it is like actually from the scientific background of Chanel with this quiz. So that will be the validation. And then we won't be recommending what they should get. It will be recommending it. So I don't know if that makes sense or not. And Maddie, you talked about the reminders and stuff. Somebody that was sitting around me kind of talked about how like Teamsy, you used to have to put it in to be able to tell it to give you two reminders and all that kind of stuff. And so this is kind of like the pulse thing is kind of what my understanding is kind of like Teamsy, and probably down the road, like Project Broadcast, we will be able to do it all from our app. It won't be something we have to spend money on to get Teamsy for organization or to get Project Broadcast to communicate. My understanding is Pulse is supposed to be integrated into it and do it all. Am I correct on that?
I think so.
Yes.
That sounded like it to me too. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
I'm having my tires looked at anyway. You know, the energy, I think we have to go back to the energy at conference. You can't compare it to anything else. People need to get there to see who's involved in this company and how people are connected and truly how people cheer each other on no matter what team they're on. And I think that's really an important point in our company, is letting people know, you know, everybody always talks about the culture, but until you've experienced it, or maybe you've experienced it in other companies, to really see how people are uplifting, because we all need that. And yeah, meeting Oliver, I've seen him before, but seeing him again, hit that hair. Anyway, you know, he has a ton of energy and good intentions. And what I like about him, he really gets to the point. He doesn't just talk on and on and on. He has something to say, he says it, and he's off, you know, and I really like that part. Anyway, that's my input.
So I didn't get to go this year. And I am so sad. I am so sad that I missed out on probably one of the better ones. But one of the things that I really loved, it's just a small thing, but I love the emails that are coming now that let us know when somebody orders. I mean, that is genius and was probably so simple.
Right. I love that too.
I'll follow Sally on the energy part because this is only my second event I've ever been to, but just like I always tell people, it's hard for me to explain like the first one, but it's like going to them, it's like it's easier for it to be explained if you just go, because just the vibes you get from these events are just insane. And then what they're bringing now next month is just incredible. And then plus also another thing that I really hit me was the ordering process is going to get cut down from like 4 screens to 3, like 3 steps instead of it being so many. And I'm like, that simplifies it so much better, because people, you know, when they go to order, there's just like screen after screen after screen or step after step. And it's like, make it simpler for them to where they don't feel like they get overwhelmed or, you know, anything like that. So for them to cut it down a little bit, that really helps too. So, but I love these events. This is only the second one I've ever been to, but I told Ashley from the first one I went to back in October, I was like, I'll never miss another one. And I haven't. So.
Well, I have to say
Wasn't
that
it
Logan
May
and
that they were
Maddie,
gonna? Oh, I'm sorry. Wasn't
I
it
have to
May
say
that
that
they were going to
Logan
do
and
that? I had
Maddie
forgotten about that.
killed it. They were so on purpose, and it's just interesting how fast things are moving. Because I know, you know, these girls that have come over from another company. It's like Logan had said to me, because I've always been about across the whole company, like when, you know, if you don't win, who loses? If you win, who wins? And we have to realize that everybody winning here brings energy, brings eyes, brings attention. And it's so what I got today was about, so anyway, I want to say I'm so proud of Logan and Maddie, and wow, you know, they just were amazing. But it's like friendly fire, you know, like being killed by friendly fire when you're after other people, even in our industry, like, or anywhere. It's like our job is to cheer people. Our job is to look, you know, I think a lot of times, you know, it's a poverty spirit when we look at things and we get into lack, and we are all about expansion, you know. And so if that ever comes up on you, realize that's not, you know, that's not the voice of the winner that you are. Because this is the deal. When you sow cheering someone else, that's what you get. So if you want people cheering you, you cheer. You understand what I mean? All of the things. So I'm so excited about them having fresh eyes for what we're doing, that they're coming with industry experience. And, you know, we don't have to be afraid. The only thing that we have to be afraid of is if we're getting moved in our heart to make a move and not doing it, you know, because really the battle isn't against anyone else. It's against our own minds, if that makes any sense. But the stuff that's coming is crazy. I am so excited that the ordering process is going to be easy. I'm so excited that Sarah has this connection with Hustle, which is the company that owns our app. And so that they're going to make it so everything gets integrated in there, that we'll be able to see the things about our customers, about our teams. Everything is going, you know, to be so much easier. They realize what it takes for us to have it. And I know that, I think Logan might have said it, but Jalen had said, how am I following up with customers? I don't know. And then they said, hey, we need to know when people order. And like, it's like right now, I believe God's saying it, and what we're hearing from our company is the same thing. You know, it's like mirroring so much. It's like, what do you want? What do you want? And it's like they're asking what we want and they're delivering on it. So I think it was either Logan or Maddie that had said, you know, we've asked for these things for so many years and now we're getting it. And so like what we have to do is get into the whole gratitude piece, the whole energy piece, because it really is just about showing up authentically. And also Logan did amazing the other day with Jennifer. So if you guys haven't heard that, it was like, wow, that was so powerful and so perfect about us just showing up. You know, I loved that she was vulnerable about her, you know, her husband having, you know, her being pregnant with her fourth child in 5 years, and that, you know, he fell back into his addiction. It's like, wow, did that make everybody go, oh gosh? And that here she was struggling with health so bad that she passed out from stress, really, you know? It's like, I mean, it just wake up calls of just realizing, man, whatever you're walking out, you know, being able to encourage people along the way. Like, we don't have to be into the perfection. I think that was a pretty awesome message. So yes, let's go.
Is there anybody else that was at the event that wants to share anything that was big for you? Okay. Okay, so you guys, it's time to be like all in, because the wave is already going. So you don't want to wait till all the stuff is released to then be jumping in and excited. One thing that Jennifer said on Logan's Room at the top that I love that they have this industry experience is it takes people 7 to 10 exposures to something before they're ever even going to show any interest at all. You know, so as a brand new person, I think that that's one of the most valuable things to know, is that what you're doing today is going to show up in the next 30, 60, 90 days. And you guys, things are not slowing down. So I would just say it's time to be all in, to get so excited. That's really what our job is to be excited and invite people to take a look, and then just keep oh yeah, does anybody have any cool testimonies from NAD Dreams? I guess that would be cool to.
If Kenya is still on here, I saw that her REM sleep has improved by an hour each night she's been using it. I think she's trying to unmute right now. That's what it looks to me like. Anyways.
Is it? Yeah, so it's been awesome. It doubled. So day one, I think it was like an hour and a half of sleep, and then after that it doubled the next day. So I'm excited to see what happens tonight. But now my husband is actually on it as well, which I'm like, it's a blessing. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, because it gets so much more expensive. But then it makes you want to be more hungry and keep going for more. Because I mean, that says a lot. If my husband's doing it, because usually getting him to do stuff, he's like, no. But always, like, same with the XR2, like he's always loved that. So this was like a jump, like a even bigger jump for him. And yeah, he's liking it a lot. And so am I so far.
So what did you say? So you went from what to what on REM?
I want to say it went from an hour to an hour and a half, and then it doubled. So I have the screenshots of it, but I just been tracking on my Apple Watch for the.
Oh dang, send them to me, please.
They're on her stories,
Yeah.
I think, but now I'm like, dang, now I really need an Aura ring. I wanted one, but now I really want one. Because now it's like being able to report.
Yeah.
Yeah, my watch is in Alabama somehow. It must have fallen out of my purse. So I do have one coming. Maybe that'd be a great promo for us to do.
Just Kala things. Oh, giving away like an Aura ring or something?
Maybe we should do that as a team promo for people somehow. Get them promoting it.
Sorry.
Go.
So I took it for 2 nights. Okay, so transparent here. I take a muscle relaxer at night for my cervical stenosis. So just 5 milligrams, but that's my goal, is to get off of that. Because one of the things it helps me do is also sleep. Obviously, it relaxes my muscles. So for the 2 nights that I took the NAD, I did not take my muscle relaxer. I mean, I did have tight muscles during the day, but I will say last night would have been night 3, but I decided to take my muscle relaxer instead because I've been having shoulder trouble. My sleep on NAD was so much better the 2 nights I took it than it was last night on the muscle relaxer. And I always felt like the muscle relaxer helped me sleep at night. Can't even compare. Like, I just felt so much more rested the 2 nights I took the NAD than I felt last night taking the muscle relaxer. And then also my husband has been taking it. He's been going through a tough season of sleeping since daylight savings time. He's been waking up between 3 and 5 o'clock every morning since daylight savings time, which as a teacher, that is not a good thing. Those who are teachers know that's not a good thing, to try to teach all day and be tired. But it has been getting him through that tough season of sleeping past that 3 to 5 o'clock. So, and this morning, this morning he actually got up before his alarm.
That's what's been happening for me. It's like when I take that, it's like I wake up feeling rested, and it's like sleeping through the night. But it's like last night I was watching the playoff game and it didn't start till 9. I was like, oh gosh, do I want to take this? Because it literally, like, I feel like within 15, 20 minutes, I'm like, out. So I was really nervous about taking, like, am I going to fall asleep during my game I want to watch? But I ended up not. And then I thought, well, maybe I should take it again.
Right. Well, he's always been a snooze the alarm, like 3 times before you get up. And it's like, dude, you got to get up. But yeah, anyway.
I'll definitely say that since I've been taking it, I am normally a really light sleeper. Like, Joey used to come in the morning, open the door. I'm awake. I'm like ready for him. The other morning he came in and tried to wake me up and he thought I was dead because I'm getting some deep sleep. He literally like he tried to wake me up and he said he tried to wake me up and he's like shook me 3 different times and he left the room. He's like, okay, but this is not like my wife. So then he came back in and like really shook me and I was like, what? So I was in a deep, deep sleep. And I'm not normally like that. So
Well, you guys know this is really like the innate, like it's so awesome. We're promoting it as sleep. And that's my son, Cam, who's all into nutrition, studying it all. He's like, can't believe they're not just so about just the NAD because the NAD is doing so much. It's really, I love it because this year Oliver turns 40 and, you know, Chanel's going to be up there. So he's like, man, he's all about reversing the age. And NAD is the thing that literally is replenishing you. It's like you're hearing all of these people getting shots and taking this NAD because it's like a Benjamin Button. It's literally aging in reverse. So people are like, oh my gosh, you look so much younger. That's what we're going to be hearing. And it's like, wow, how exciting for you guys to be having this happening as you're resting and repairing as young moms. And then us, we're like, wow, they're going to be saying, my gosh, you're 60. I can't believe it.
I know I always speak like my 50s. I know my 50s are going to be like the prime time of my life and I'll probably look better at 50 than we do now. So, okay, awesome. Does anybody have anything? Was somebody trying to say something?
I was just gonna say that since my husband's always has struggled with sleeping, like so he would wake up like 4 or 5 times in the middle of the night, so it'd just be constant. But ever since he's been on that, he has had a full rest of sleep, hasn't woke up not once. And then I just wake up more just like I feel just rested, like I got enough. So like it's helped us both in different ways because I don't ever have problems falling asleep. Like hit the pillow, I'm gone. So
That's amazing.
I did make a post this morning about taking a break from it last night or 2 nights ago versus drinking it again last night, and it's evident. I mean, I knew it, but I was just doing it for the sake of having another thing to talk about. But it was definitely like, well, obviously my watch, what it said, but I felt it. I just felt like rejuvenated this morning versus the other morning where I was like, I slept, but it was choppy like normal because I wake up to her all the time. But with NAD and it being choppy, didn't feel choppy. And also apparently it wasn't that choppy. So
Yeah, that's the part for me is I'm like, sleep is such a joke for me to try to like, I haven't even been caring about XR2 or any of that stuff, only because I'm like, I'm waking up to this kid who's right next to me and I need to wake up to him. Like he wants to eat or whatever. I don't want to not wake up to him with how we co-sleep and all that. But I was just so excited because I'm like, the poor sleep that I am getting, I'm really excited for what it's going to do for the sleep I am getting. Like I tell my family all the time, I haven't had a dream in a couple of years because I haven't even been in REM sleep because I've been breastfeeding. If it wasn't Bo, it was Teddy, or I was pregnant and uncomfortable and not sleeping. So I haven't had a dream in a couple of years. And I'm really excited if I have a dream and I am getting the kind of sleep I am, I'll be shocked.
can I say one more thing really quick? I don't know if anybody realized this or got on that training that Chanel did, but the reason that NAD is 20 servings is because you only have to really take it 5 days a week because it's so potent. And I thought that was very good to know and very good to tell customers in case they ask. And I thought that would be good to share.
Yeah, if you're doing it for the sleep part,
Yeah.
that's that way. If you're doing it for the NAD, you do it daily.
Benefits.
So that's what she said, yes.
Well, that is cool to know and good to know. And now that we always get emails when people order, like you would know if someone orders an AD, you could just send them a quick text. Hey, if you're doing it for sleeping purposes, whatever, you know, it gives us that freedom. And now we don't need Teamsy or any of that.
Amazing. Okay, guys, this was so good. So everybody has on their calendars, you know, figure out what arrangements you've got to make because you're not going to want to miss that. And we'll see you guys next week.